What's going on YouTube and the great people of the internet? It is your boy ThunderBuddy29 here, back today with another video. As Fortnite OG Season 1 is now coming to a close, as we now start our final countdown to Season 2, I kinda just want to give my final thoughts on what I thought of Season 1. Now before I get into that, first of all, I don't want to hear shit about how I'm blinded by nostalgia. As an OG player, and as somebody who loves OG, I can still admit that this season had its flaws. This season was definitely fun, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it also got pretty boring. And second of all, I hope you enjoy these types of videos, and if you do enjoy this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash like button down below, share this with your friends, and hit that bell so you will never miss another video. And of course, join the channel today, and yeah. But anyways, back to the video. So yes, this season did get pretty boring, but at the same time, it was pretty fun. Like, we had the original OG map return for the first time ever since, with some locations that we have not seen ever since, like Moisty Mire for example. And with the map, the original OG loot pool have returned as well, with some weapons that we have not seen ever since. Weapons that we have not seen in over half a decade. And to top that off, the weapons in the OG loot pool were changed back to their original format with their original sounds and everything. It was awesome, and it was also very nostalgic. It made you feel like you were reliving that moment again. Well, not entirely. And despite all that, all of a sudden, it just started to get really boring. Like, you have a mode with the entire OG map and loot pool and everything, but how could that get boring all of a sudden? And reason number one, I think this is an easy one, and that is the bots. So yeah, this mode was pretty sweaty, but guess what? It should not have been a surprise at all. But it did surprise me that on the first week of OG's release, they decided to put in bots because Epic had received so many complaints about how sweaty the mode is. This was by far the worst thing that they decided to put into OG, because first of all, it was making the mode way too easy. It was like no contest. I mean, sure, it's nice to go stack up on them kills, man, but at the end of the day, they're just nothing but participation trophies. They're just there to give you a good feeling. Second of all, if you wanted to get better at the game, if you wanted to improve your skill level, adding in fake bot players was not the way to do it. If anything, that was the worst way to go. Because the player's skill level is not going to get better, it's either just going to stay the same or if not get worse. And third of all, when you're fighting a fake bot player, it would pretty much tell every real player around you where you're at, and right before you know it, the entire lobby's on top of you. And with all that being said, this was sounding more like Chapter 2 than it did Chapter 1. Like what I said in one of my previous videos, bots were not introduced until Chapter 2. They were never in Chapter 1 whatsoever. The only reason why they were put into this mode was because you had so many people complaining about how sweaty it is. And honestly, that pretty much tells you that more than half of Fortnite's player base today were never even real OG players to begin with. They were all complaining about there being no bot players in OG, when they don't realize that was how it was in the original OG. Yes, it may be sweaty, but at least it was 100% PvP like how it was originally. Then of course you had the people who were in favor of bots were like, just play ranked. Like why? Why should we have to play a competitive mode just to get the true OG experience? Fortnite's decision to add bots into OG was just so stupid, and that entire fiasco was stupid as well. I'm so mad. Fortnite's decision to add in fake bot players in general was by far one of their greatest mistakes. It also did nothing but ruin the entire OG experience. It really does not surprise me that after they decided to put in bots, their player count just rapidly went down. Even as of today's time, it's now within the tens of thousands. The player count just declined drastically, even to the point that Reload started to get more players than OG. I mean, yes, bots are part of the blame, but in reality, reason number two of why the season was boring was that it just naturally got boring over time. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the season was bad, I enjoyed it quite a lot, but when you play it so much and for so long, eventually it was going to start to get boring. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate as well, especially when there was like very little content, no map changes whatsoever. The boredom was eventually going to catch up with you. And from what I can see, it definitely caught up with a lot of people, because consider the fact that in the beginning of the season, you had over 1 million players on the first day, and as I just said about a minute ago, currently today, it's now within the tens of thousands. That right there can pretty much tell you that a lot of people just got bored with the season. It's not because it was bad, it was just because there wasn't enough content. Especially at the same time, Fortnite also has their minds and resources into keeping up with their other modes too. I mean, like I said, it's not a bad mode, and sure, it was a nice getaway from the sword spamming of Chapter 6, but it wasn't meant to last forever. Season 1 was definitely not the best season of OG, and also consider the fact with the lack of content, that was also how it was in the original OG. I think we all overestimated Season 1 too much. But one thing is definitely certain, I have a lot of confidence and I'm very excited for Season 2, especially with what it has to offer, like the map for example. But it looks like we're gonna find out tomorrow. But what did you guys think of OG Season 1? Did you enjoy it? Did you get bored with it? Let me know in the comments, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you guys enjoyed or agree with this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share this with your friends, and hit that bell for notifications so you will never miss another video. Follow me on Twitter/X. I love you guys, I appreciate all the support that you've been giving me, and until next time, I will see you all in the next video, possibly tomorrow. And this is ThunderBuddy29, sign off.